Howdy, I think I got a good one today, folks. Sun went behind a cloud. It's only 95 degrees. So yeah, I got a horse trading video, little dab of blade show, about that much. It has to do with the horse trading video. Gonna let a little bit of the deer feeding stuff. And of course, it's Saturday. It's gonna be a Saturday Stockman Stampede. Yeah. And a little bit of, story stuff involved. Y'all come along. And nobody replied last week when I said, if you like this next little clip, if I should get rid of it, I don't care either way. I just thought it was neat. Might be something less boring. Let me know. Here it goes now. All right, folks, I'm doing something I usually don't do, and I figured I'd film it because I'm not the sharpest right knife in the drawer. About fell down. I'm going down yonder to put this out, corn, golden deer nuggets, and a camera, and I'm going to walk through that. And there's a reason we call this Copperhead Central. On top of that, I'm doing it with shorts and my 4-wheel drive Jesus sandals. So if I happen to creep across one of them sneaky snakes, y'all count 911 for me, okay? Go on, sneaky snakes. I mean no harm. This is probably one of the top 5 dumbest things I've done in the last 10 years. Saying a lot. You know, the thing is, I have a nice pair of snake boots and all this stuff about 50 yards behind me in the green shop. But I'm in a hurry. And that's usually when you mess up. So that's why the disclaimers at the beginning of all my videos that I'm not a professional at anything, and do what I do at your own risk. Because as I said, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Look at that. Now this is at home. I throw out a little salt brick there. And this is a, well, it ain't coming through on camera with the doodle. But this is a mineral lick I've had going for a couple years. And they are hitting it hard. All them tracks where they've been digging and pawing at this. Roger. I know this is going to be a little different video and some stuff that maybe some folks ain't interested in. I mean, this is about trading knives, a Saturday Stockman Stampede, and just kind of doing my thing. But I have noticed that when you be yourself and you just film what's naturally you, people who like your videos like it better. So, and I'm going to be doing this anyway, so, Fellers and fellerettes are tearing the daggum creek banks up down here. Look at right here. Look at that. Look like you're driving 4-wheel drive stuff or motorcycles up the banks, what I meant to say. And the creek, she's still running. She's a babbling, but man, we need some rain. Now, y'all might see me throwing this stuff out, and a lot of people like to just pour it in a big pile. The reason I do this is this year we have a whole bunch of little ones, little spotted fawns, and they cute as a button. And if you pour it in a pile, there's a couple of bucks coming in here and a bunch of big old does, and they keep the little ones run off the food. So I spread it out so everybody can eat, kind of like grazing. And I'll do this tonight, and that's 1 5-gallon bucket. And I'll put out 3 5-gallon buckets tomorrow. I got a local supplier for corn, so I get it a lot cheaper than buying it like Academy or Tractor Supply. Anywho, in case y'all wondering what all that is, I'll tell you here in a minute. let's finish up. I also throw some across the creek over on the other side. Y'all hear that? I got a little fella that likes to ride the property line on his four-wheeler because he knows it bugs me. Don't belong to me. But he keeps my deers and bears run off. I ain't got a picture of a bear in a month. That's free country. Well, back to the story. Backside of the old barn in the woods. And I refer to it affectionately as the old barn in the woods. Probably gonna start taking some of that down. I'll use the barn wood for some other stuff. There's a lot of chestnut and stuff in that. Another story, getting sidetracked. Whoop, rabbit trail. In videos past, I have told y'all about these. These little muddy cameras. It's like one of the cheapest cameras you can buy. It's the Mud-MTC-100. Now, I keep this right here close to the house. I'm probably 175, maybe 200 yards from the house. And I use these a lot. When I'm hunting up in the mountains, hunting on public land and stuff, I use these, but I don't use the straps. I tie it on with bank lines so people can't see the strap and steal my stuff. But here at the house, I use these. And I also have a couple of cell cams I use up in the mountains. But, yeah. There's that story. But if you're looking for good, cheap cameras, and you have to pull the cards out to check these, it's old school, but they take phenomenal pictures and photos. Pictures and photos. They take phenomenal pictures and videos, and yeah, they're $19. $19 at the Academy, or you can get them on Amazon for $19. Yep. Now, my wife and daughter, they'll come down in the woods, not here, but another place. I got 3 bait stations, and I just try to keep them pulled in here, especially the bears, because there's some folks down the road and over on the other side of the mountain that'll fight, shoot them if they see them, and I like taking pictures of them. But I very seldom, if ever, hunt down in here, and to be honest, I pretty much love taking pictures of them as much as I do hunting them. Plus, if you ever need to, the need arises and you need wild game instead of want wild game, guess what? Now, I hung my ladder stand, my climbing stand, down here about February when I started feeding them again. And there's a reason I did that too. Right beside the creek, ain't that pretty? I hung it down here because there's another place on down the creek further from the house that I'm going to leave it on the ground like that, and that way it's there, and all you got to do is slip in, get in it. Another one just like it that I hunt up in the mountains on public land with. But see, that way, let me give you some reflection or some, whatever the word is. There's a ladder stand, and my tree stand's right in front of it, and here's this. So I put the climbing stand down here next to the big stand, and the deer are using the heck out of this, as you saw, and they're used to that climbing stand being on the ground. So when I move it in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to take it out tomorrow and spray all the cloth, the sling seat, and everything down real good, soak the heck out of it with camp dry because I don't want nothing rotting. And then next weekend, after it airs out a little bit, I'm going to take it to its new spot where it's going to live. But deer's used to seeing it. The camera's set over there on that big tree and everything's out. They're hitting the minerals real hard. So my work is done here until tomorrow. I think next time I'm going to pour corn all down through here so the deer will get rid of all these weeds and I don't have to worry so much about sneaky snakes getting me. Did y'all see that move? It's okay, it was just a great big grasshopper. Back to this. I'm filming away from it because I'm watching real close to what's going on here. Yep. Yeah, the average snake bite, getting the antivenom and all that stuff, each vial of antivenom is like $60,000. Yeah, and a lot of times health insurance won't pay for it. Yep. Well, I made it back safe and sound. Back to the old Tubby Stubby Doby. Remember my home to pot bucket this time. Last time I left it laying there. Now, want to talk about some horse trading. My side of it, a mail call that wasn't a mail call. I did some trading with none other than Mr. Terry over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. And rather than mail it to me, he hand delivered it to me, my side of the trade that is, at Blade Show. And I thought that was cool, along with some bonuses I didn't expect. But you know, that's Terry. All right, to set this up a little bit, I got a pretty good deal on a Panama Trapper, Tony Bow's purple Panama Trapper with the the Jesus fish on it. And I looked at that knife and I handled it out. It's a nice knife, big old trapper. It's a lot bigger than just a standard trapper. And I was like, man, you know, there's guys out there in the knife community that collect stuff like this. And I got something on the tip of my nose. Thank y'all for telling me. But there's guys out there in the knife community that collect this kind of stuff. And they like this, and they have I don't want to say reverence, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to say reverence for really, really good knives like this and whatnot. And that's really not me. See, it might have to do with the way I grew up, because I seldom ever changed anything. But when I was growing up, we was so broke we couldn't afford to pay attention. Usually when we got stuff, especially new stuff, we would, you know, let's say a knife, which I don't think I ever bought or got a new knife. Yeah, I did. My very first knife. Yeah. The case sawbuster my grandpa got me. There's a video about that too. But anywho, I digress. Back to the subject. I'll just cut the chase. I used to cut grass. My mom raised 2 kids with the help of my grandpa. And budget was tight. And I don't know if y'all remember Pick and Pay shoes. But she would go to Pick and Pay shoes, and we'd buy, they had a brand called Cougar tennis shoes. She'd get us Cougars and Sears Roebuck catalog. She'd order stuff out of Sears Roebuck catalog. Like I don't know if y'all remember the old tough skin jeans. You could get them in every color of the rainbow. Well, that's what my mom got me in, and I was proud of that stuff. I ain't joking, because I knew how hard my mom worked. She worked 2 jobs most all her life just to raise 2 kids by herself. And yeah, when we got new stuff, we took care of it. When I got at 11, 12 years old, my grandpa bought a lawnmower at a yard sale, brought it home, got it running, and he gave it to me. And I had an old Green Machine weed eater, and we had bungee cord all that together on the handle. And I walked down to this little housing development that's down the road from us a couple miles, and I walked door to door. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Need your grass cut? Well, I would use the money I made for that. I was cutting yards. If it was a regular size yard, $10, and a really big yard would be $25. Most of the time the people took pity sakes on me, and they brought me water out because I was about to have a daggum heat stroke. And a lot of people would tip me $5 or $10. That's a big deal to a kid, you know, especially then. You know, we're talking 79 to 81, somewhere in there. I'm trying to talk fast and get this in, because I know this video's got a lot of stuff in it, and I've made it pretty long. Anywho, what I made cutting grass and stuff, I went and bought a pair of black high-top classic Reeboks. That whole be like the cool kids thing. Cut grass off from daylight to dark for 2 Saturdays to buy that pair of shoes. And I'd wear them to school. I'd come home from school, I'd take them shoes off, and my grandpa always had rags with 3-in-1 oil on it. And I went down to his little tool shed thing and got one of his rags, and it had all kinds of 3-in-1 oil on it. And I'd come back up to the house, I'd take my shoes off, I'd wipe them down real good with that rag. Didn't make them shiny, there wasn't that much oil, but I put them back in the box, put them on the top shelf of my closet until the next day when I went to school. All that to say this: understand people that collect stuff, especially vintage stuff, and want to keep it nice, because I feel the same way. But on the other hand, tools, I always use them for tools. And I only have maybe 4 knives that I don't use. And those were, you know, I've talked ad nauseum, my grandpa's knives, and knives that were gifted to me. Well, make that about 6 knives. And now I've got number 7 and number 8. First number 7. I've always been into bigger knives. And, you know, something I wrap my big old mitts around and use them and things. And when you open them, you just clack, you know. I mean, I just like bigger knives, any bigger knife. And lately, I have gotten on a big kick with like the folding hunter knives. I love them. And the case 75 pattern, 6375, synthetic 75, whatever that number is, any larger knife. But lately my thing has been the folding hunters, and I love the big Coke bottles. Hadn't snagged one of them yet. It's coming. Well, I did a trade with Terry, aforementioned Panama Trapper, because I knew Terry would appreciate it a lot more than I did. And I put a community post on YouTube telling everybody, hey, I got this knife and I'm going to feel guilty throwing it in the sheath and cutting wires with it at work. So if somebody really wants it, I'll be glad to do some trading. Terry popped up and says, I want it. But once Terry said that, it's over. You know, it ain't up for sale or trading no more. Well, now my side of that trade. I got to Atlanta Blade Show and Terry presented me with this. And I've done taking a couple of pictures and a couple of sample videos, and there's no way you can know what this knife really looks like. You know, God gave us such wonderful lenses in our eyes, and even modern technology like an iPhone 15 Pro can't touch it. Yep, this is a 6275 case folding hunter, 2-blade folding hunter. And look at that. And I'm going to tell you guys why and explain. Terry didn't even know. I would rather have these handles than any handles ever created on a knife. And I'll show you why in a second. That thing, I don't. Okay, tribute to Terry. Got to say it. Y'all ready? Don't dat pretty. Look at this side. Look at the character in that bad boy. I'm sorry, folks. I got fingerprints all over the bolsters and everything, standing here talking to y'all, but hold on. Just wipe it off on my shirt without cutting my belly. That worked real well. But anyway, y'all see how pretty that is? Oh, my Lord. As Terry would say, he handed me this and the angels commenced to singing. Okay, folks, here I'm going to tell you why I so love rosewood. This right here is my Les Paul Studio Elite. I bought a few years ago, and I kind of balked against spending so much on a guitar because I already have a Les Paul Standard, an 86 Blueburst. But man, when I plug this thing up, oh my goodness, it absolutely smokes the Standard. And the reason I picked this particular one, rosewood fretboard. And I want you to look at this rosewood. You see the difference in colors? That's the grain. This is not something that's been glued together. And it was so unusual. That's why I chose this one. That's my baby. I already hear it coming. Hey, you need to do some videos with that. I've already done several. You might remember a short here a while back with the song Civil War by Guns N' Roses in it. Yeah, that was me. I also learned to listen in that one. When you're gonna whistle to a song, you might want to throw your backer out first. I imported another one to put in the background and turn the volume down on it so that it would read something else on the bottom. That way, if you guys thought it sucked, you could blame him and not me. The only person that knows I did that was Mike's wife. You know, we were talking about it. He busted me. And as usual, when I'm trading with Terry and stuff, every time I always feel like I got the best end of the trade. And that's not how you trade and barter with people. Sometimes they got to get the best end, or they're going to get tired of trading and bartering with you. There it is. I had done some trading with Brother Gabe getting our knives for another folding hunter that I'm keeping in here for right now. And I was trying to decide, do I want to make a sheath? You know, one of my little simple, kind of rough sheaths. Do I want to make a sheath or a slip for that knife? Or do I just want to get one of those little case slip knives, sheaths? I bought this for that. And then once I seen this one from Terry, I was like, that settles that. And I'm going to make a sheath for the one I got from Brother Gabe. Do a little video about that trade here for long, but I'm not going to show it to you right now. It's a nice one too, yeah. You know, Terry being Terry, and Lord, I'm sweating. Did I mention it's 95 degrees? Terry being Terry, he couldn't just leave it there. Nope. I've been looking at some bokers, and I've gotten a few bokers lately. I don't think I put any of them on the channel yet because I'm trying to learn about them. Yeah, I said it. I'm trying to learn something about a knife other than the fact. See, usually my criteria for buying a knife or trading for a knife, is it cool? Do I like it? 1. Is it sharp? 2. Can I sharpen it when it gets dull? 3. The end. But I've been talking about my interest in bokers. And lo and behold, you know what Brother Terry did? You know what day it is? That's right. It's Saturday. That means it's time for a Saturday Stockman Stampede, folks. Open tag by Brother Terry at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. And it's brought to you by our longtime faithful sponsor, Diet Dr. Terry. Wet and whistle since 1964. Yep. Let me preface this, however you want to say it. Preface, you can put a face on it before, preface it, or you can preface it, or whatever. Not only is it a boker, oh my Lord, if it ain't orange. Now folks, I don't care if you like orange or not, you cannot look at that and say, boy, don't that pretty any bigger than what I did. Look it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages and other undescribed folks, that's pretty. Yep, it's a Boker Tree brand 3-bladed Stockman. Snapper abilities all day long. Look at that. Mercy day, them boojagooses. Well, folks, I almost hate to say this, but at this point, this is going to be number 7. Because the Folding Hunter was number 6 in my quote-unquote collection that I don't use or use much. Folks, she's got a good edge on her. Y'all just look at that and just make the attempt to tell me that that ain't plumb gorgeous. Look down in there. You can't really tell with what I'm filming here, but it looks like you can reach down in the wood grain and peek every little color in there out. Oh my gosh. Brother Terry, thank you, sir. Truly, I love that. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to feel like Frosty the Snowman did in Act 12. I ain't even in a greenhouse. It's all right. You're not even done, as the old Ginsu knife commercial used to say. But wait, there's more. Check this out. Holy smoking liquor stills. Look at that. That is smooth, son. And these, I love these kind of clip point blades, these blades on the ends. And look at that. Oh, mercy day. Terry, I don't know anything about That and get you, son. I ain't joking. I don't know anything about a whitetail cutlery. But I tell you, that is sweet, son. And look. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm not the tabletop guy that knows all the technical stuff about knives. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna pretend to be. But I love that. That is sweet. Little sway back job. And it's part 2 of the Saturday Stockman Stampede. Loves it, Terry. I haven't made my mind up yet, but this one might go in a little slip. So, Brother Terry, I appreciate you, buddy. And thank you very much for the gifts and for working the trade with me, as always. And I hope you have a happy Saturday Stockman Stampede, brother. And don't forget to tell Miss Sweet Pea howdy for me. Miss Sweet Pea, if you happen to be watching this, it's a pleasure meeting you at Blade Show. Sure was. I am about to go to Horrible Freight. I fired my pressure washer up and it ain't running right. I think I need a carburetor. So I looked on the Jungle website and they got a carburetor for that Honda generator. Pressure washer. They have a carburetor for it for like 16 bucks. I ordered one. And Harbor Freight's got a Father's Day weekend sale on a pressure washer down there that if it'll last at least once or twice is all I need. Show y'all the pressure washer when I get back using it. And yeah, y'all might be interested in them too. I don't know. It might be a piece of junk. Might work just great. I don't know. A lot of other stuff I was going to put in this video, but I think we've gone about as far as y'all probably want to go. I hope you guys have a great day, great week, great night, great weekend, I hope it's a good one for you. I hope the good Lord blesses you. And until I see you again, peace and God bless. Word.